A blared in my head. 30 seconds remaining for the hug mission. Failure meant a penalty too gruesome to contemplate. I shot out of bed, not bothering with clothes, and scrambled for the door. At the same instant, the door to the adjacent bedroom flew open. Liam Vance, hair a mess and eyes wide with panic, was rushing toward me in a loosely tied silk robe. As the cold, mechanical countdown hit 1, our warm bodies collided with a thud. A notification chimed in my mind. Mission complete. We both let out a long breath, pulling apart to face each other. The air thickened with a potent awkwardness. Liam's brow furrowed in a familiar expression of distaste. He told me that, in the future, I should really consider wearing something to bed. I just yawned and gave him a vague promise about next time, turning away to hide the roll of my eyes. He was the one who'd gotten me into the habit of sleeping naked a decade ago, back when my nights were filled with his whispered pleas to shed every layer. Now, a simple shirtless embrace was cause for complaint. Man, I went back to my room to dress while Liam, cinching his robe tight, headed for the bathroom. Thanks to this ridiculous system, my ex-boyfriend and I were once again living together after 10 years apart, forced into a daily routine of hand-holding, hugs, and goodnight kisses. We had to share meals, take walks, and watch movies curled up on the same couch. We had never been this clinging even when we were 20. Once we were both presentable, the system's voice echoed in our minds again. The new mission was announced. A loving breakfast made by the husband. Our eyes met for a fraction of a second before we both bolted for the kitchen. I had just wrapped my hand around the handle of a skillet when Liam hip-checked me out of the way. With fluid motion, he turned on the gas with his left hand and cracked 2 eggs with his right. They sizzled into the pan, forming perfect sunny-side-up hearts. He glanced back at me, a triumphant smirk playing on his lips. I had lost the title of husband again. I gritted my teeth, letting out a quiet huff. He could have it. He was the younger one, after all. His face immediately darkened. He reminded me, voice tight, that he was only born a day after me. I raised an eyebrow. A day, an hour, a second, it didn't matter. The older brother is always the older brother. I turned away with a feigned air of superiority, but another ping went off in my head. A bonus mission. While the husband cooks, the wife must embrace him from behind, playfully distract him, and get him to lift her onto the island for a kiss that lasts until the breakfast burns. What kind of degenerate system was this? Liam stood there in his perfectly pressed shirt and trousers, his hair styled without a single strand out of place. He looked like a man about to close a deal, not fry some eggs. It was absurd. I hesitated, looking at his impeccable back. The systems was sharp. Refusal would result in an immediate bone fracture. That was all the motivation I needed. I lunged forward, wrapping my arms tightly around his waist. He froze, his whole body going rigid, and glanced over his shoulder to ask what I was doing. I mumbled something about a bonus mission and needing a favor. A slow, wicked smile spread across his face. He told me to beg. This jerk. I took a deep breath. I promised I would do his laundry for the week. He said it was a deal and, after wiping his hands, asked what the mission entailed. Expressionless, I pointed to the clean, polished quartz of the kitchen island. He was to lift me up and kiss me. Liam paused for a moment before complying. The stone surface was cold against my skin. He slipped one hand under me as a cushion and used the other to cradle the back of my head, pressing his body between my parted legs as he leaned in. His eyelashes, long and dark, fluttered down. I found myself closing my eyes, my throat tight with a nervous tension. Felt strangely intimate for broad daylight. The kiss was light, tasting faintly of mint, and over almost as soon as it began. He was being so polite now. Just as he started to pull away, I grabbed the collar of his shirt. I told him it was too quick, that we had to keep going until the eggs burned. His gaze darkened, and the pressure of his mouth on mine intensified. Minutes passed, yet there was no smell of smoke. Those stubborn eggs. 10 minutes later, I couldn't take it anymore and pushed him away, gasping for a brief respite. He looked at me, his expression a complex mixture of surprise and something else. He asked if I was always this insatiable. I shot him a glare, explaining that the system required the breakfast to be ruined for the mission to be complete. I frowned toward the stove, asking what kind of futuristic, non-stick material he was using. He replied calmly that he'd turned off the gas moments ago. That little snake. He'd done it on purpose. If I didn't know for a fact that only I could hear the bonus mission prompts, I would have decked him. An intimate moment between a long-divorced couple is the stuff of nightmares, especially for a pair who'd broken up twice. As soon as the mission was marked complete, Liam disappeared into the bathroom. The sound of the shower running for a long time followed. Was a single kiss from me that repulsive? After forcing down the now-cold eggs, I called my driver to take me to the studio. I make my living on reality TV, and my latest gig was a live-streamed horror escape room. I'm a coward, but the paycheck was too good to pass up. Besides, it meant a full day away from Liam. This system had been controlling our lives for over 2 weeks, and being forced into constant intimacy with an ex was its own kind of horror. Just as I hung up, a glass of milk appeared in front of me. Liam said he was heading in the same direction and would just ride with me. As I took the glass, my fingers brushed against the back of his hand. It was ice cold. He must have taken a cold shower. I told him it wasn't convenient, my voice laced with residual annoyance. I deliberately wiped the spot his hand had touched with a napkin. I then advised him, with mock concern, to use warmer water in the future. Liam's eyes lifted, his gaze unreadable. I patted his shoulder patronizingly, reminding him that he wasn't getting any younger and should take care of his health. A small smile touched his lips. He suggested I should worry about myself first, recalling how my back used to give me trouble when I was 20, limiting the range of our activities. I nearly choked on my milk. He rose gracefully from his chair, adding as he walked to the door that a little yoga might do me some good. I hurled a tissue box at the closing door, cursing his name. Don't get angry. Breathe. I repeated the mantra all the way to the studio, only to come face to face with Liam the moment I stepped out of the car. We always maintained a professional distance in public, acting like strangers. He shot me a look over the top of his sunglasses, a barely perceptible arch of his eyebrow, before being swept away by a crowd of assistants and staff. He looked so infuriatingly cool in his tailored suit and slicked back hair. With his mouth shut, he was the picture of stoic perfection. Liam was already blessed with the face of a Greek god and the body of a runway model. The whole mysterious A-lister act drove the young fans waiting for him into a frenzy. I dodged the screaming crowd and asked a staff member what he was doing here. The crew member, eyes glazed over with adoration, explained that Mr. Vance had personally requested to join the show, so they'd added a surprise guest for the episode. It was his first ever reality show appearance. I wanted to ask about their principles about adding people last minute, but a look from the producer told me they'd rather replace me than him. I was, after all, expendable. Once the cameras were rolling, the live broadcast began. I made a beeline for the scariest-looking room in the Haunted Mansion set. As a reality TV veteran, I knew my job was to create drama. The more I screamed and cried, the more entertained the audience would be. I pictured the zeros on my paycheck and steeled myself. The room was pitch black, filled with ghostly shadows and eerie, surround sound effects. The theme was a Victorian ghost bride. Every dusty candelabra dripped with gothic horror. I swallowed hard, a sudden longing for Liam washing over me. We still hadn't completed our 1-hour hand-holding mission for the day. That jerk. If he was going to show up, the least he could do was find me and get the mission over with. My legs trembled as I pushed open the first door, muttering to myself about his poor time management. My luck was terrible. A ghastly, long-haired bride lunged at me, her face inches from mine. My heart seized. I dropped the prop lantern and ran. The actress, fully in character, chased after me, her voice a chilling whisper. "You're so handsome, little man. Stay and be my groom." I yelled back that I was hideous, that she should try someone else. I even suggested Liam, the famous, handsome actor. Go find him. I ran for my life, finally shaking her off, only to find myself at a dead end. The actress's chilling giggle echoed through the grim hallway, getting closer. I felt the cold touch of her long hair and nails against the back of my neck. Her hand landed on my shoulder. "Got you," she whispered. A scream tore from my throat. I collapsed to the floor, a heap of pure terror, covering my head and yelling for Liam. "Liam!" Suddenly, the actress was yanked away. A pair of strong arms lifted me from the ground. The person holding me kicked open the nearest door and pulled us inside. The familiar scent of mint filled my senses as a hand gently patted my back. A voice murmured in my ear that it was okay, that he was here. It took me a full 10 minutes to calm down enough to open my eyes. The room, the mansion's honeymoon suite, had been cleared of any other actors by Liam. I was still clinging to him, my entire body limp. I had crumpled his expensive designer suit. He was holding me on his lap like a child, stroking my back in a slow, comforting rhythm. A wave of complex emotions hit me. It was one thing for a grown man to be scared on a horror show. That was comedy. It was another thing entirely to be found sobbing in another man's arms, needing to be coddled. The humiliation was intense. Sorry, I stammered, letting go and scrambling off his lap. I moved a safe distance away, putting my professional mask back on for the cameras. "Mr. Vance, fancy seeing you here. What a coincidence." He replied dryly that he'd been right behind me the whole time. I wiped the sweat from my brow and tried to change the subject, looking around the room with feigned curiosity. I remarked on the festive, if creepy, decorations, asking what this room was supposed to be. He answered with a single word, "The bridal suite." The conversation died. I stood up, shaking out my legs, and prepared to continue the game. Liam rose and followed me. The hallway was dark again, with ghostly figures projected onto the walls. I flinched and a hand took mine. Liam laced his fingers through mine as if it were the most natural thing in the world. When I looked at him, he stated coolly that it was time for the daily hand-holding mission. I was surprised he'd remembered. I didn't resist. It was dark. No one would see. Just then, the other two contestants ran past us, screaming as an actor chased them. One of them shouted, "Hey, how come they get to hold hands? Let's do it. It'll make us braver." The other contestant scoffed, asking if he was serious, calling the idea of two grown men holding hands disgusting. My face burned. I tried to pull my hand away, but Liam's grip tightened. He covered his microphone and leaned in, his voice a low whisper. He reminded me that once a mission starts, quitting early depletes our life force. He asked if holding his hand was really worse than death. I pressed my lips together, hesitating for a long moment before prying his fingers off mine, one by one. Liam's expression turned ugly. He asked if I was doing this because of what those guys said. When I didn't answer, his brow furrowed deeply. He couldn't believe that after 10 years, I still cared so much about what other people thought. I just sighed, explaining it was a professional necessity. My reputation was how I made a living. I told him it had been a long time, that he should let the past go. I advised him to live a normal life, find a wife, have kids. That was the proper path. He looked at me with utter disbelief, asking if I really meant it. I nodded. I do. Fine, he said, his voice cold as he stepped back. The dim, red light of the set illuminated the fury in his eyes. Fine. In that case, I hope you get everything you wish for. He left me alone in the terrifying hallway. When the costumed actors swarmed me again, I didn't scream or cry. I just sank to the floor. I discovered that when you're truly heartbroken, you don't feel fear. I was a nobody. Who cared about my history or my orientation? But Liam was different. He was the youngest actor to win the top awards, a flawless idol in the eyes of his fans. I had followed his career from the shadows for 10 years. I knew the sacrifices he'd made. His life couldn't be tainted by a scandal involving me. My withdrawal a decade ago was for his own good. Now he shouldn't be entangled with me again. I dragged myself home, my heart a leaden weight in my chest. The moment I walked in the door, the system announced the daily mission. A sweet dinner together. Just perfect. We had just had a massive fight. Takeout from a fancy restaurant was already spread across the dining table. Liam was sitting there, his expression glacial. He glanced at me and ordered me to wash my hands and come eat. I obeyed meekly, taking the seat opposite him and eating in silence, acutely aware of his stormy mood. My phone buzzed. A message from a friend in the industry. Ethan, you're famous. You and Liam Vance are trending. What? I quickly opened Twitter. The top trending topics were a nightmare. Liam carries Ethan, Liam and Ethan bridal suite. I was always behind you. I clicked on a fan-ed clip from the live stream and my eyes widened. The show's camera work was crystal clear. From the very beginning, Liam had been trailing me. When I was chased, he was chasing my pursuer. When I broke down crying his name, he instantly neutralized the actor and swept me up like I weighed nothing, carrying me heroically into the bridal suite. And on the bed decorated with red ribbons, we had held each other. For how long? A fan had timed it. 12 minutes and 53 seconds. The comments were a war zone. Does Ethan have a death wish, trying to leech off Liam Vance's fame? What a pathetic attention seeker. How dare he touch our perfect Liam? My few loyal fans tried to defend me, pointing out how gentle Liam had looked while holding me, that he must not dislike me. They argued that Liam had been following me to protect me, that he was the one who initiated everything. But their voices were drowned out by Liam's massive fan base. I frowned. This was bad. I was about to go into my fan group chat to tell them to stand down when my phone was snatched from my hand. Liam scrolled through the torrent of comments, his handsome brows knitting together tightly. I started to apologize, but he cut me off, telling me to just eat. He would handle it. 5 minutes later, social media exploded again. Liam had posted on his personal account. It was me. He clarified that he had followed me, he had carried me into that room, he had initiated the hand-holding. If you want to blame someone, he wrote, blame me. The comment section was filled with shocked fans. You think we don't want to blame you? But we can't. I nearly choked. What kind of overwrought drama had he been watching? The craziest part was it worked. The tide of the conversation shifted. Neutral observers started commenting. Is it just me? Or do Liam and Ethan actually look good together? Another added, I never realized how handsome Ethan is. Watching him cry like that really got to me. A longtime fan noted that Liam never engaged in fake PR relationships, unless it wasn't fake. Exactly. They act like strangers in public, but who knows what they do in private? In the blink of an eye, the hashtag Lianthan was born. Fan videos and fan fiction appeared out of nowhere. I frantically told Liam that his PR team needed to issue a clarification immediately, that we could still contain this. He was calmly clearing the table, his eyes scanning the new, much more positive comments. He said he would take care of it. A shiver went down my spine. He picked up his phone and typed. A new post appeared. You all think this is something? You haven't seen anything yet. Minutes later, a longtime fan account shared an encrypted link. The film Liam and Ethan co-starred in 10 years ago. Some scenes are intense. Watch it before it gets taken down. Liam's final post of the night sealed it. Yes, we did make a movie together. The internet broke. So did I. Almost no one knew I was a classically trained actor. At 20, I was cast as the lead in an indie art film by a renowned director. The other lucky newcomer was Liam Vance. The film was about a disillusioned young painter from the city who travels to a sprawling Montana ranch to see one last sunset before ending his life, only to be drawn in by a vibrant young cowboy and find a reason to live. It was not a story about platonic friendship. The director was fearless. Our very first scene on the very first day was a kiss. We had barely exchanged names before we were surrounded by cameras, sitting on horseback. Liam was dressed in rugged ranch attire. He held the reins in one hand and circled my waist with the other. I turned to look at him. The fiery sunlight illuminated his face, making his deep-set eyes burn with intensity. He looked down at me, his gaze so tender and full of emotion that I felt my heart skip a beat. It would have been a perfect moment, if not for the crew staring and the director yelling from a chair about how Liam's emotion was wrong. The cowboy was supposed to be the wild, playful seducer, not some lovesick puppy. The kiss needed to be more forceful, more demanding. He needed to be wilder. Liam, looking flustered, nodded and tried again. The director coached him through it. A little smile in his eyes. Don't just brush his lips. Bite a little. He ended up biting my lip so hard it bled. The director sighed in exasperation and asked if he even knew how to kiss. Liam, his face crimson, quietly admitted he didn't. Everyone was stunned. After the crew dispersed, it was just the two of us and the horse on the vast, empty prairie. Liam was silent, his head hung in shame. I patted his shoulder and told him it was okay. Nobody's perfect. He fiddled with the hem of my shirt, then looked up, his eyes red-rimmed, and asked in a small voice, Ethan, can you teach me? The memory made me sigh. A sharp knock on my bedroom door brought me back to the present. The Liam of today stood there, his face a mask of indifference. He announced that the system had issued a bonus mission. We had to take a shower together. I was baffled. These missions were getting more and more frequent. He grabbed my arm, telling me not to make a big deal out of it. It wasn't like we hadn't seen it all before. That was a lifetime ago. Back then, the filming conditions were rough, and to conserve hot water, we'd often bathe together. Ever since I'd taught him how to kiss for the camera, he'd become my shadow, asking for my help with everything. Ethan, I can't figure out this scene where I'm supposed to be charming. Can you help me practice? He would corner me, his chin on my shoulder, looking up at me with those big, pleading eyes. Back then, I thought he was just a dedicated actor preparing for his role. I was so naive. What are you thinking about? Liam's voice, laced with a familiar yo-yo tone, cut through my thoughts. Zoning out in the shower? He poked my side. He used to be such a sweet kid. How did he become this insufferable man? I muttered something about comparing his backscrubbing skills to a professional. He scoffed, grabbed a loofah, and told me to brace myself. He was actually going to do it. My mind raced, trying to remember the last time I'd properly exfoliated. He started scrubbing, his touch surprisingly gentle, and asked if the pressure was okay. I yelped dramatically that it hurt, wriggling out of his grasp like an eel. I told him his technique was terrible and he should just quit. He gave me a look. Well, you're the expert, Ethan. Why don't you teach me? There it was again. I had taught him how to kiss, how to act, how to be. And for what? So some other person could reap the benefits all these years. I mumbled under my breath that I wouldn't, so he couldn't go off and do it for someone else. He raised an eyebrow, asking who else he would possibly scrub. I shot back, his co-stars, of course. I taught him how to kiss, and he went on to kiss other people in movies. I taught him how to love, and I wasn't teaching him anything ever again. His face fell. Besides you, he said, his voice dangerously low, when have I ever had a kissing scene? I froze. His dark eyes bored into mine, a humorless smile on his face. Ethan, you've never actually watched any of my films, have you? Busted. I'd seen the posters, read the summaries, followed his press tours. But I could never bring myself to watch the actual movies. I was afraid of what I might see. The thought of him being passionately in love with someone else on screen, while the one film we made together was buried and forgotten, was too cruel to bear. As I hesitated, his expression shifted through a rainbow of emotions, finally settling on a look of profound hurt. You really haven't, have you? His voice was thick with disappointment. I tried to form an excuse, but he just pulled me under the shower head, rinsing me off before tossing a towel over my head. His laugh was cold. That's fine. Then I'll just have to help you catch up on all of them. He leaned close, his voice a sinister whisper in my ear. And we can start with the one we made together. Our film never got a wide release in the States. The few international screenings were short-lived. All you could find online was a heavily edited 30-minute version. But Liam somehow had a high-definition undirector's cut. 2 full hours. He pressed play, and it picked up right where it had left off. On screen, our younger selves were a tangle of limbs on the prairie grass, the setting sun casting a golden glow over everything. 2 young men, offering up their whole hearts, all feeling and no technique. It was raw, wild, and utterly forbidden. Watching it now, sitting so close to Liam that I could feel the heat radiating from his body, all I wanted to do was escape. I feigned a yawn and tried to slip away, saying I was getting old and needed my sleep. He grabbed my wrist, his grip like iron. He looked at me, his eyes pleading. He told me that everything he said at the escape room was just out of anger, that he would never marry, and that he couldn't bear the thought of me marrying someone else. Ethan, he whispered, his voice cracking, please, give me another chance. I froze. I was weakest when he looked at me like that, like a lost puppy. That's how our first breakup ended. His wealthy family had found me, offered me money to disappear, and called me every name in the book. I was proud and angry, and I threw him out. He spent all night banging on the door of my tiny apartment, but I never opened it. The truth was I felt inferior. I knew from the moment I met him that we were from different worlds. But I was greedy. I wanted to touch the moon, even if I was stuck in the mud. I had it for a short time and then it was gone. A month later, I came home to find him huddled by my door in the dark. He had run away from home with nothing but his ID. He couldn't even stand up. His legs had gone numb from waiting so long. He just looked up at me, his eyes red, and begged me not to abandon him, saying he had nowhere else to go. I couldn't say no to that stray dog. I ruffled his hair, held out my hand, and welcomed him home. The pressure on my wrist tightened, pulling me from the memory. I was about to remind myself not to make the same mistake twice when Liam's phone rang. The caller ID read Mom. He frowned, clearly not wanting to answer, but I swiped to accept the call for him. He shot me a look but put the phone to his ear, his other hand still holding me fast. The conversation was brief, his mother nagging him about not visiting. As I shifted, trying to get comfortable, Liam pulled me onto his lap. I let out a small gasp, which I quickly muffled, but his mother heard it. Liam, is someone with you? Yes. A strange silence. Then, is it Ethan? How could she possibly know from one sound? Yes. She sighed. It's been so many years. Why are you still hung up on that broken down tree? Liam replied without missing a beat, he's not broken down. He's beautiful. Another silence. Finally, she sighed again, a sound of resignation. When you have time, bring him home for dinner. Liam's lips curved into a faint smile. Finally, he murmured before saying, okay. After he hung up, I asked what kind of spell had been cast on his mother. He just smiled and said she'd finally surrendered. He then asked when I was free. I laughed nervously and echoed his earlier sentiment. We'll see. His smile vanished. He tilted my chin up, forcing me to meet his gaze. You haven't answered my question, he said, his voice soft but insistent. Another chance. Yes or no? My heart ached. I gently pushed his hand away. No, I whispered. The second breakup was worse than the first. It wasn't about his family. It was about his future. The industry was different back then. A relationship like ours was a career-ending scandal, not something fans would celebrate. His agency saw his immense potential, a future star with international appeal. They gave me a choice. Leave him quietly or they would shelve both of our careers. It wasn't a choice at all. I couldn't let him be ruined because of me. I came home on my birthday to find our apartment transformed. Balloons, rose petals, candles, and a wall of our photos framed by twinkling fairy lights. Liam stood there with a gift, his eyes shining, practically begging for praise. Couldn't smile. I pushed past him, flicked on the overhead lights, and coldly asked who was going to clean up the mess. I told him he was nothing but trouble. The light in his eyes died. I accused him of flaunting his success, of getting big movie deals while I struggled. I threw the fact that his family had invested in our first film in his face, a low blow I knew would wound him deeply. I said cruel, vicious things, pushing him until he finally snapped. You're impossible, he yelled, and I threw his things out for the second and final time. Then go, I screamed back. Don't you dare come crawling back to me. He picked up the watch he'd bought me, the crystal now cracked from the fall, and left without another word. As the door slammed shut, the world went quiet. The romantic decorations were a mockery. On the birthday cake, I found a small card. Happy 31st birthday. I hope I can be with you for your 41st, and every year after that. The tears I'd been holding back finally fell. Liam, I'm so sorry. The next day, I moved out, broke my lease, and changed cities. I blocked his number. He called from new ones, begging for a reason. I gave him the cruelest one I could think of. I'm bored of you. I don't love you anymore. And that was the end. He became an international superstar. I became a reality TV personality. We never would have crossed paths again if not for this system. And now a new movie script was in my hands. A lead role. The producer insisted. When I asked who the insane benefactor was, my agent told me the other lead was Liam Vance. I immediately refused. But the money, and the thought of finally having a film with him that the world could see. It was too tempting. But why did we have to share a room on set? Liam's explanation was practical. The system gave missions at all hours. It would be less suspicious for us to be in the same room than for one of us to be caught sneaking into the others at 3 a.m. We walked through the quiet country roads near our filming location for the evening stroll mission. He took my hand, his fingers tentatively weaving through mine. The autumn sky was vast and painted with the colors of sunset. We walked in a comfortable, peaceful silence. This was something I had dreamed of for years. Just two ordinary people, holding hands, walking toward the horizon. But it was a dream I couldn't allow myself to have. Liam was meant to soar. I couldn't be the one to break his wings. Later that night, we went over the script. We were playing brothers. Liam was the older, righteous one. I was the younger, wayward one who gets into trouble. In the story, the older brother sacrifices himself, taking the blame to save his sibling. I remarked that it was a foolish kind of sacrifice, leaving the survivor to live with a lifetime of guilt. Liam just grunted from his side of the bed. I asked him why he didn't choose my role, the more complex and emotionally rich character. He said flatly that he didn't look like a criminal. I knew he was lying. He was giving the better part to me. First the investment, now this. I asked him what he hoped to gain by helping me so much. He just looked at me. I told you we can't get back together. Don't waste your energy. He snapped his script shut. You're overthinking it. I just want to be your big brother for a change. It's your turn to call me bro. He then demanded I rehearse my lines. I rolled my eyes but complied, running through the desperate pleas of my character. He leaned back, a smug, satisfied look on his face. He even poured himself a drink. Feels good, he said. A few more. I lunged for him, grabbing his collar. You're asking for it, you jerk. The sudden closeness made him laugh, his eyes crinkling. I could smell the mint from his toothpaste. My face flushed, and I let go, but he caught my hand. At that exact moment, the system's voice boomed, triggering random mission. Achieve a state of ultimate physical harmony. Liam grinned. A lover's quarrel is best settled in bed. The system gets it. He scooped me up and tossed me onto the mattress. As his fingers went to the buttons of my pajamas, I pushed against his chest. I told him we couldn't do this, that once the system was gone, we'd be strangers again, and I needed to preserve my dignity for a future partner. His face hardened. He grabbed my chin. Who else are you planning to find? You've been alone for 10 years. Who'd want you now? That's a low blow. I kicked him off the bed. I got 10 years older, but so did you. And I told you, I'm bored of you. He ripped his shirt off, revealing a perfectly sculpted abdomen. Do I look old to you? My jaw dropped. He smirked, wiping a bit of drool from the corner of my mouth. Don't pretend. Your mouth is watering. He sat beside me, his fingers gently scratching under my chin. Ethan, he said softly, everything you said back then, it was all lies to protect me, wasn't it? The agency threatened you. I know everything now. You never found someone else. You never stopped loving me. I'm the one with the power now. No one can control us. What are you still afraid of? I clutched the bedsheets. His fans didn't want me. Being with me would mean his fall from grace. Liam, I said, my voice barely a whisper. We can't go back. 10 years ago, I wasn't good enough for you. Now it's even worse. When I'm with you, I feel so small. I can't. Let me go, please. He looked at me, completely bewildered. Why? What's mine is yours. Why would you be jealous of me? Because, I choked out, I'm just naturally a bitter, pathetic person. He started to laugh, a broken, hollow sound that ended with his eyes turning red. You're still lying. When will you ever tell me the truth? The system interjected. A 1-minute session of deep, soulful gazing can be exchanged for one truth. Liam immediately grabbed my face and stared into my eyes. Ethan, just one true answer. Please, in all these years, have you ever regretted it? Not even for a second? My lips trembled. I had watched him succeed, watched him become a star. He was brilliant. He deserved it all. So I gave him my answer. Never. I have never regretted breaking up with you. The random mission was a failure. The penalty, the system said, was an internal injury. Nothing happened to me. But Liam suddenly clutched his chest, collapsing to the floor in a fit of violent coughing. I scrambled to help him, my hands shaking as I reached for the hotel phone to call an ambulance. He grabbed my arm to stop me. The system explained that its punishments were undetectable by modern medicine. The only cure, a love hug. I held him carefully, asking if it was working. He seemed to breathe a little easier and mumbled for me to hold him tighter. I held him all night. The next day on set, he was still weak, a persistent cough rattling his chest. Seeing him trying to hide his pain twisted something inside me. While he was filming, I asked the system what would cure him. It replied that if we got back together before the contract ended, he'd be fine. The contract ended today. This was the last day. If we didn't reunite, it said he would die. The system explained that the original penalty for failure was 30 years off both our lives. But Liam had chosen to take my portion as well. Why would he do that without asking me? I nearly shouted. The system replied coolly, you never asked him about any of your decisions, either. I looked over at Liam just as he was seized by another coughing fit, this one more severe than before. He waved off the worried crew, insisting he was fine. He caught my eye, and I ran to him, forgetting the cameras, the crew, everything. I threw my arms around him. Liam, he put a finger to my lips, a faint smile on his face. We're filming. We'll talk later. He gently pushed me away and slipped back into character. Brother, do you even know what you've done wrong? His voice was full of pain. I gave you so many chances. Why do you refuse to change? You make every decision for me, for us. You say, but you're the one who destroyed our future. The words hit me like physical blows. He was no longer acting. This was real. I sank to the ground, tears streaming down my face. That's not it. I didn't want to. He knelt, his hands framing my face. Brother, I'm giving you one last chance. Tell me, do you regret it? I grabbed his hands, my voice choked with sobs. I do. I regret it, Liam. I really, really do. A flicker of a smile touched his lips. He pulled me into a fierce embrace, ignoring the dirt and grass staining his costume. He whispered in my ear, his voice weak but warm, live well. I'll always love you. Then he pushed me away and walked toward the prop police car, giving me one last, resolute look over his shoulder. As the car pulled away, I saw him curl up in the back seat, coughing uncontrollably. I scrambled to my feet, running after the car, screaming his name, telling him I was wrong, that I'd never be so stupid again. I tripped and fell, tasting blood. The director yelled cut, but I couldn't get up. Liam, I was wrong. Please don't die. Let's start over. He returned in the prop car and rushed to my side. wiping the blood from my chin with a tissue. He insisted on taking me to a hospital. I grabbed his hand. "I'm fine. It's just a scratch. It's nothing compared to you." He froze, then bundled me into his personal car. Inside, I finally told him I knew about the system's secret. His hands tightened on the steering wheel. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to trick you. If it were me," I said softly, "I probably would have taken the 30 years for you, too." He glanced at me, surprised. I thanked the system. Without it, I never would have realized how my love was actually hurting him. I confessed that I had never stopped loving him, that I followed his career, that I often traveled just to be in the same city as him. That first day, I said, smiling, "The reason I found you so quickly? I was already there, nearby." He pulled the car over, his whole body trembling. "What are you trying to say, Ethan?" "Liam, give me another chance. No more letting go. Not ever." Fireworks exploded in my mind as the system declared, "Mission complete. Congratulations." All tasks were generated based on the wisher's deepest desires. Please remember to leave a 5-star review. My brain short-circuited. Wisher? Deepest desires? I turned to Liam, whose smile was frozen on his face. "So all those embarrassing missions, that was you?" The hand I had on his back turned into a pinch. "You were going to let yourself die if I didn't give in? Are you insane?" He looked down, defeated. "I'm sorry. I didn't know what else to do. I waited 10 years. I couldn't wait forever." He opened the glove compartment and took out a small, aged box. Inside was a men's watch, covered in diamonds. "I bought this for you like I promised. It's been 10 years, but I kept it wound. It still keeps perfect time." He looked at me, his eyes wet. "Tomorrow is your birthday. Please, don't throw it away this time." I tried to keep a straight face, but a smile broke through. "Let's see if it fits." His eyes lit up. He fastened it on my wrist with a satisfying click. The diamonds glittered in the afternoon sun. I leaned over, pulled him in by his collar, and kissed him. A sharp rapping on the hood of the car made us jump. A state trooper was peering in. "Everything all right here? You folks broken down?" We stammered our apologies and quickly drove away. A few miles down the road, our eyes met in the rearview mirror, and we both burst out laughing. I cleared my throat, putting on a serious voice. "So, system, what's the next mission?" Liam chuckled, his voice low and rich. "Find somewhere with no people around. And continue."